Hello, my dear ones. Father Phelan has just set up the camera, and then he told me that I should smile more because I look kind of dead. And I suppose he's right, because I do feel kind of dead. Apart from my migraines and apart from the fasting taking its toll finally on my body, I am a bit overwhelmed with this change of speeds. We've been in our burrows throughout the autumn and the winter and springtime, and now clearly summer is almost here, and summer comes with all sorts of things that need to be done, repaired, prepared, and so on and so forth, and all of these are adding layers and layers of worry upon this increasingly old soul of mine. So yes, I'm kind of dead. But so what if I am dead? I still want to belong to Christ. I still want nothing else but to be His and to live with Him. When I'm dead, when I feel alive, when I'm virtuous, which almost never happens, or when I'm sinful, which seems to be the default of my life, no matter how I am or how I feel, the one thing I want is that I want to be with Christ, and I still need to do all the things that need to be done in order for Christ to see my love, and hopefully one day when the time comes for Him to open His arms and receive me. I suppose this is the meaning of Christ loves you as you are. I know Christ loves me, and I know that Christ loves you as you are right now. Dead tired or bursting with energy, in your deepest sorrow or in an uncontrollable state of joy, in your sin or in your spiritual battle and success. This is what it means. It doesn't mean that who I am or who you are right now is perfect. It simply means that it is perfect enough for Christ to love us no matter how fallen we are at any given moment. It is good enough for Him to embrace us in that state, and that is a good enough beginning for Him to begin the process of transformation, the process of making us into whom He truly wants us to be, into those persons whom we were created to be. I've recently heard someone say to me, because people are beginning to come back on pilgrimage to MULL and Iona, and we are meeting increasingly more people, and someone has recently told me that they've gotten to the stage of being so old and feeling so weak that they cannot even make a prostration anymore. And something in me revolted, because that's not true. I know from the monks I've grown up with, the monks in Moldavia, that they were in their late 80s or 90s and they were still making prostrations. It's true, they were no longer throwing themselves enthusiastically to the floor as they did in their 20s or 30s. In your 80s or your 90s, or even in your 40s or your 50s, when you're riddled with tiredness and migraines and worry, you no longer throw yourself up on the floor, because you might no longer be able to get yourself up. But you can very slowly, from standing up, you can just put yourself on a chair and sit yourself there until you get adjusted to it, and from the chair you can kneel down and just wait there until your blood pressure and everything in your head gets adjusted to that, and then you can put your head on the floor. And then you can get up again very gradually, very slowly, with deep humility before God for this state which you've reached, and also with a healthy sense of humor. And God receives all of this. God receives this one prostration that you can make per 2 or 3 minutes better and with more joy and more love than He received the 100 prostrations I used to make in a few minutes, 10, 15 minutes, when I was in my 20s. Because right now, this one prostration I can make in a minute is all I have. And when I give him a few of these prostrations, I really am like that poor widow in the Gospels. I'm giving him everything I have. It's no longer like when I was young and healthy, when I could have given him 1,000 prostrations and I only gave him 100. Then I gave him out of the abundance of my gifts, the abundance of my health and of my youth, and I only gave him what felt comfortable to me. Now the question of comfort simply doesn't exist anymore, and I give him everything I have. And I use myself as an example, but really this is something I say for all of you out there, who either because you feel so fallen in your sin, or so despondent, so sad, so old, so ill by any reason, that you feel you can't even get yourself to make one prostration before Christ, or one bow, or one anything. It's not true, my beloved ones. Take things slowly. Take things with humility. Let go of our images of how things should be like, what a prostration should look like, what fasting should look like, and just do what you can and do it wholeheartedly. And I promise you before Christ that Christ will receive that with greater joy than anything you've ever given him, when you could have given him 100 times more in your youth and in your fullness of health. Be truly who you are. Who you are even in your sin. Who you are even in your fallenness. Because Christ will get you, and then he will start transforming you, shaping you, rebuilding you, creating you anew into that saint whom he created you to be in the first instance. The worst thing to do is to pretend that you are something you're not. Do you see how in the world around us that seems to be the main temptation of the world? Everybody wants to be something that they are not. Whatever you are, that's not good enough. You want to be something else. And that creates a world that is entirely fake and confusing and confused, where you are no longer yourself, and where you impose upon those around you reactions that are not real, are not authentic. The people around you will respond thinking what you need to hear, what you would like to hear, because they want to be supportive of you, of your choices, even if they think that those are bad choices. So then you create this world where you are no longer yourself. The people, even those who love you, who surround you, no longer have their honest, authentic reactions towards you, because they present you with faces and responses and emotions that are not their own. They are a reflection of what they assume you need from them. And then you've created this false environment in which nothing is really what it is. And everything is dictated by this confusion and falseness, which we initiate because we think that our lives here should be comfortable. As soon as there is pain, as soon as there is discomfort in our life, we want to change it, we want to repair it at whatever cost. And that is so close to the word of Christ. Those who want to save their lives here lose their capital L lives. Those who want to save their souls here, their identity here, lose their souls, their real souls, their eternal souls in the kingdom. The world here is transient, my beloved one. And so is yourself, your identity here. It is all transient. Don't sell that which is eternal for that which is transient. Don't betray your true self, your true identity, your true life for something that by definition is transient and lasts for a few years or a few decades. This is a fallen world. This is spiritually a collapsed world. It has always been, it still is like that, it will forever be the same until the day when Christ comes back at his second coming and the world is going to be folded like a tent. You are not separate from this fallenness. You and I and every single human being who's lived before us and who will live long after we are dead, all of us contribute to the fallenness and to the confusion in this world. We were born into a world which is already pre-built by those before us and their fall and their sin. And then we are just a product, and we bear the effects of this generational accumulation of sin. This world is fallen. Don't seek the permanent, the perfect, the joy and the happiness, the fulfillment, the true, authentic you in this transient, false, inauthentic, confused reality of the world we live in. Own up to your own mortality, my beloved brother and my sister, because as soon as you put before the eyes of your mind, the eyes of your soul, the reality of your mortality, of your transience, you realize that the pain you feel, no matter the nature of this pain, be it physical, emotional, spiritual, mental, this pain is just your cross. We are all born with a cross, and it is in lifting up this cross, not once, not twice, but 100 times a day or an hour or a minute, lifting it up and not allowing it to crush us down. It is by carrying this cross with gratitude, with love, and hopefully, God willing, one day helping our brothers and our sisters carry their crosses as well. It is in this that our true, authentic, eternal selves are being revealed, including to ourselves. Because we don't really know who we are. We are still mysteries, sacraments to ourselves. I have no idea where I started. I have no idea how I got here, but this is where God has taken me. So I trust that something in this is helpful to someone there behind that camera. We love you. We carry all of you in our hearts. Thank you especially to those of you who have joined our online community. You can find details about that in the first comment of this video and in the first comment of almost all our videos, because the online community allows us to keep in touch with you on a daily basis, to pray for you daily, to answer your questions daily, to share with you updates about the monastery that perhaps not everyone, really is interested in. And your support keeps our lives here in the Scottish Isles alive and possible and moving forward. Be blessed to the core of your being, my beloved brother and sister. Amen, amen, amen.